Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the WASD and Beyond podcast. I am your host, Nick, and that is not Evan. That is our dear friend, Noah from NMD Design. You may know his
That's right.
work because he is wearing a piece of his work on his fucking t shirt that he designed, the OG young WASD and Beyond logo, and he actually made it look more mature and old and edgy because as the show has gone on, I am trying to channel my inner Henry Zabrowski and Ben Kissel and Marcus Parks, and it's not
And
working.
you're doing a great job of it.
Am I? Oh my god! Don't tell me
I
that.
think so.
Don't tell me
I
that.
think so.
Oh, you're gonna make me get too fucking big for my britches if you tell me that. I fucking love those guys so much. Last
It's
podcast on the
great.
left. So, but yeah. So check out all of Noah's designs on at NMD Design, right? Or
Yeah.
NMD Official on Instagram and
Yeah, on Instagram.
Twitter. No.
I'm not on Twitter.
Okay, so just on Instagram. He's done all of our
Yeah.
design work. He's made all of our t-shirts thus far. I'm sure he'll continue to be doing so. He's a part of the Spawn Camp family. Please check his shit out. And if anyone out there needs anything done, if he's free, please hit him up. He's awesome
Yeah,
to work with.
absolutely.
Super
Commissions
awesome.
are always open.
Hell yeah.
Just hit me up. Always happy to make some new stuff.
Hell yeah. Speaking of Spawn Camp, please be sure to check out all the shows. You got us, Diggity Podcast on fuck. Diggity Podcast goes live every Thursday at 9 or 9:30 on YouTube and Twitch. You have the Build Bros that drop episodes every Tuesday at 8 a.m. and every Thursday at 8 a.m. as well. So check their episodes out. WASD and Beyond usually, if there's the news warrants, has a hot fix out every Wednesday and a regular episode every Friday with YouTube videos to add. And while you're at it, please check out our sponsors. Final Boss, I am wearing the brand new Manhunt t-shirt that they just released and they just sold out of all of their leftovers. So that's Manhunt, Kate Bush, which again, I will say this until I'm done saying it. They were the first to do the Kate Bush shirt before it was in Stranger Things. Everyone else, nice try. The Gabe Newell t-shirt, which was a smash hit. I talked to Eric about that privately. It was insane how many people bought that t-shirt. So they got another drop coming out. If you missed Max Payne, there might be some leftovers to that. I would definitely check that out. And then while you're at it, check out our other sponsor, Doc Longy. I do not have anything Doc Longy on, but next episode you will probably see me in one of my dope ass Doc Longy shirts, either Liquid Swords, Nasty Nas, Big Pun, so much awesome hip hop shirts, plus his own custom designs that he does featuring the Doc Longy logo and everything Doc Longy. So check them out. They are the sponsors of the show, and we are proud to have them as our sponsors. Without further ado, Noah, how was your weekend, my friend?
Oh, it was good. It was my 1 year anniversary with my girlfriend, so
It's
we
been a
spent
year
most of the
already?
yeah, it's pretty nutty. Like
What
we
the
spent
fuck?
the entire weekend being like, what the fuck happened? Like where did the time go? We were just well, I mean it's crazy how fast time flies by. Like it is truly insane. But we were just hanging out. We went to a nice dinner, so it's always great. We spent a lot of time playing Stardew Valley because that's
Oh
our
yeah.
shit. I think like one of the first things I asked her when I like met her last year, and she said she like played games. I was like, "Have you played Stardew Valley?" She said yes. I was like, "Do you have it on the Switch?" She said yes. I was like, "Okay, we're making a farm
Friend
together.
code.
That's gonna be yeah, that's gonna be our child while we're together." Like,
Oh
so
my
we played a lot of that. We're 2 years into our Stardew Valley, and it's going fantastic.
dude.
Um,
That's fucking
that game
wild.
that game is perfect to play with somebody you're in a relationship with, but it's also like perfect to play just with anybody.
Yeah.
I love that game. That game is the destroyer of time. It will eat your weekend um, if you're not careful, but super fun. Um, and then just we were just hanging out, having a good time. I got on Sunday night, play some games with the boys for a bit.
Absolutely.
Um, but I had a little bit of FOMO because every once in a while I would check on my phone. I would check the Discord. Like on Saturday night, I was like, everybody was in it. I was like, oh fuck, like everybody's in the Discord now.
Oh, dude. Oh, speaking of the
Yeah,
Discord, please join the Spawn Camp Discord.
yeah.
That's where everyone is literally fucking partying at all times. Saturday, I was way too fucking drunk. So you can see that happen in real time.
I'm upset I missed out on that. Apparently there were lots of good funny moments from that.
I drank So DCFC played Saturday, and I was supposed to go to
Hmm.
the match, but then I didn't go because like Perry and Landon were on like a bit of like an up north trip. They went to Grand Rapids for like 5 days. So I was like, you
It's
know what?
mostly west, but sure.
Whatever, man. Whatever. It's a. But like, so I was like, okay, I'll stay home and I'll hang out with my like family because that's like
Hmm.
it seems like the right thing to do when they're gone for that long. Perry ends up going to hang out with her fucking friend anyways. So I didn't
In
go
Grand
to.
Rapids.
No, she was home.
Oh,
She went out to hung out with her friends, and I didn't go to the fucking match, and it sold out again. So it was an insane
who were you
match.
playing?
New Mexico United, so a very tough
Okay,
fucking
yeah.
team. Like, and we
How'd we
tied
do?
it. Oh, we
You
tied,
tied
but
it.
like they got a goal in stoppage time, so the 92nd minute.
Hmm.
They get a goal in that was offsides, and the refs were whatever. I had drank 12 Strohs, so
12?
12. I don't know how I did that. 12 Strohs,
Okay.
a couple glasses of whiskey, and then I came downstairs. I started drinking Harp, Guinness, and like some like Pilsner. So I was like fucking 18 beers deep with some liquor in me. And
Dude,
dude, I don't know. We started playing
you're
golf.
beating up your liver like it owes you money.
Oh my god, bro. We
That's
played we
crazy.
played golf with friends, and I'm just sitting in my chair like this. And they're like, one more game, Nick. I'm like, dude, go fuck yourselves. I am done. It was fucking
Wow.
ridiculous. Yeah, that was what you missed out on Saturday. Just me
Oh,
being
big, yeah,
absolutely
well,
united, like just destroyed,
just destroyed, yeah.
destroyed. So
Damn.
that's it,
Well,
though.
I'm sure there'll be a next time. If I know you, there's always a next time.
There is always the next time where I'm always fucking
Yeah.
drunk.
Next time
So,
there's a game though, if it's an away game, we should watch that.
uh, this Saturday, literally this Saturday, come
Yeah.
on over. Perry's going out to a friend's birthday party, so it's just
Honestly, we may take you up on that.
I'll put it on the projector screen in the garage.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh my
Absolutely.
god,
That'd be sick.
yes, yes, dude. But
All right.
Noah, what have you been playing?
Well, other than playing a lot of Stardew Valley, playing a lot of MX versus ATV Legends, which released a little while ago. I was a little skeptical, but it's pretty dope. It's a motocross game.
Yeah.
But other than that, I picked up Stray, which thoroughly sucked me in
Oh yeah.
with. I mean, I don't know if I should say sucked in because I finished it in like 6 hours. It's not very long at all, but um, it was really fun. My girlfriend and I started playing it. She hasn't played many like PC games, so most of the games she plays are like Nintendo, but she has played some other games in the past. Um, and we kind of just switched off the controller every once in a while we were
Yeah.
playing it, and it was super fun. Like really, really good art style and level design.
Yeah. So that's what we're talking about today, folks. He fucking mentioned it. We're talking about Stray, the cat game, the biggest cat game that's being talked about right now, the biggest animal game I would say that's being talked about other than Animal Crossing is Stray. And there is good reason for that, and that's why we were doing an episode about it. So I saw this game when it hit, what was that, E3 a couple years ago? Maybe a year and a half, maybe a year or two ago.
Yeah, it was a while. I feel like.
It was a long time ago when I saw Stray announced, and immediately there was something about it, like I don't know, man, like the cyberpunky elements. You said something the other day, actually, yesterday, that really hit me. You're like, this
Yeah.
looks more cyberpunk and looks better than anything that cyberpunk has done.
Well, what I said, and I said it again to
Like
somebody
that.
today at work. I told them, I was like, if one interior space in Cyberpunk
Yep.
looked like any space in this game, Cyberpunk would have been a huge success.
Yes.
Because every space you enter, every inch of it is like specifically designed. I feel like there's not a single dead pixel's worth of space in this game. Like
No, it's
every inch of the world is used.
oh my god, dude, it's so it's handcrafted, I would say. Every bit of the
Yeah.
game feels handcrafted. And to give Cyberpunk some slack, it is that way because it's such a small game. But the bang
Yeah.
for your buck is there. This is a $30 title with 6 hours of gameplay, and you can stretch it out if you go collect all the memories, you get all the badges, um, all these cool things that you can do. But this game is just, it's a lot. I'm gonna focus a lot on the atmosphere, but it's a lot cooler than its atmosphere because like you see the concept for Stray, where you're just a cat. You this isn't a spoiler. You are literally just a cat. You're not super powered.
Yeah.
You're not an android. You are just a cat. And I'm not going to go too hard into the story because I really want people to experience this game. And for $30, you should.
I mean, without spoiling it, like you are a cat. You do have a companion type
Yes,
character who can do a little more, has a little more abilities than you do. It's just a cat, but the main mechanics, it's just you being a cat. Like there's no, I mean,
you're
there's
knocking
not,
shit
the
over,
gadgets are important, but you don't need them necessarily.
dude. Like you're knocking shit over. You have a dedicated meow button, which there is an achievement for meowing 100
Yeah.
times. There is an achievement for dying 9 times, which I guess fortunately didn't get. So I
I
get
get that. I swear I died more than that, but I also did not get that achievement.
yeah. So like it is a cat game. You are a cat in a cyberpunk world filled with these awesomely designed robots who,
Oh yeah.
dude, like you can feel the emotion from the atmosphere of this game is so important. The gameplay is too, don't get me wrong, but it's just like the minute the game loads up, you're sucked in. It's emotional from the get-go. It's very wholesome, I would say. Like just from the
Yeah.
opening like thing, you're brushing up against another cat and this whole thing is just so like refreshing to see. It's not violent. You're not Marcus Phoenix like skull fucking a grub. It's just like this
No,
nice
definitely
opening
not.
thing and it was nice to play and it just sets this tone for the game and then the game 180s and it goes back and it's a teeter-tottering of this game with the atmosphere and it's like here's some beauty, here's some darkness, here's some beauty, here's some darkness and I'm like this is great storytelling with minimal dialogue, mind you. Like yes, you go talk to the
There's,
robots, but
I mean, there's no real like spoken dialogue.
right.
They're all kind of talking like garbled
I mean,
nonsense
like
speak.
Simlish mixed with Animal
Yeah,
Cross. So,
yeah,
Brody was
yeah,
like, "What?"
definitely.
We were in Discord yesterday. Brody's like, "Who's playing Animal Crossing?" I'm like, "No, no one and I are
Yeah,
playing Stray." He's like, "Oh." I was like, "Yes, dude.
yeah. It's like a weird. There's no spoken language, and I think that's definitely a strength of the game. And
Yes,
it's also like you can. It's a small team. We know that.
yes,
So it's like this way they don't have to hire voice actors, which is good. But
yeah." But
you know,
fuck, man.
except for Lala, the voice actor for the cat.
Yes, Lala is OG forever.
Yeah.
Um, this game was wonderful though, man. Like, it's been a minute since I've experienced something this special. I think.
Hmm.
'Cause it felt like the team that created it loved what they were doing, and you can feel it in this game. Like,
Yeah.
from
There's
yeah,
definitely a lot of care put into everything.
oh
I
yeah, dude,
mean, just like it really feels like one person was given like a space to design
yeah,
like one of the characters like house,
yes,
and they were given as much time as they needed to do it because like I said, every inch of the space is like used, and you can, there's all kinds of little details that you can see that tell you a little bit more about the character.
and not once that I feel like anything was rushed. I didn't feel like the design was rushed. I didn't feel like the story was rushed. The gameplay was simple but fun. The puzzles also felt organic. It was like, were they easy for the most part? Yeah, but this is a game that's accessible to everybody, and that's why this game is so awesome. It's not just like, hey, hardcore gamers get Stray. It's no, everybody gets Stray. It's difficult at times, but only when it needs to be. It's moody at times, but only when it needs to be. So
Yeah.
nothing was forced. It was just this experience where, at times, I would play because you played on the PC, right?
Yeah, I put it all on the computer.
Okay, so you played it on PC. My wife is playing it on the PS5, which I will say, seeing it on my PS5, I was like, oh boy. I was
Does
like,
it look? It looks really good on the PS5.
oh yeah, it looks
Yeah.
so fucking good. I played it on my Steam Deck, and I took the graphical hit, but I got to experience my Steam Deck in a way that I've been waiting to experience it. If that makes sense. Like
Yeah.
I'm looking
Like
for
you get to like
games
play
like that.
Yeah, you get to play like a new title
Yes.
all the way through on the Steam Deck.
Yes. And it was a
I mean, I had that
fantastic
sort of
time.
with like, yeah, I had that kind of with Breath of the Wild on the
Mm.
Switch. Like when I got the Switch, and it was like, this is such a good way. Like, I know Steam's didn't make the game, but they should have advertised Stray as being deck compatible
They
because
did for a minute.
that kind of shit moves systems. Because that
Yeah.
experience I got from Breath of the Wild, I'm like, this is the perfect way to really like fall in love with the Switch because it's a
Yes.
banger game. So they could have like, I don't know. I don't know if they did advertise it, but I feel like they should have advertised it more because that shit I feel like moves systems.
So with Breath of the Wild, you could have gotten it on the Wii U, but what's the point in getting it on the Wii U when you could play it on the Switch? You could go out and spend at the time what, $300?
Yeah.
So $300 on the Switch, opposed to having to play Breath of the Wild on an inferior system, which is the Wii U. They did advertise on the Steam Deck for a minute, like, hey, Stray is deck ready. It will be available at launch to play on deck. It's verified. And that was a great thing because when I loaded it up on the Steam Deck, I played games like not Manhunt, Max Payne 3 on Steam Deck. Very
Mm-hmm.
physically demanding, very very demanding game, and that ran well. This game, if I wanted to play a smoother play style through the game, I should have played it on PS5 because there were hiccups. There were times where I was like, oh man, like the frames dropped and this isn't that. But like I played it day one before patch for Steam Deck. After patch, smooth sailing. I had one hiccup where I glitched through a fucking barrel, where you had none of that, right?
Yeah,
So
I played through the game flawless. There was not a single bug that I encountered.
yeah,
Um, I mean, minor collision issues, but that's just to be expected. Um, but no real bugs or game breaking things.
right. And like with the Steam Deck, like with that, it's so minor and minute that it didn't bother me. I was happy to keep playing it on Steam Deck because it was such an amazing game and an amazing experience to play this game on deck. But regardless of that, I've seen it on
Yeah,
PS5, I've seen it being played on PC, and I've seen it on Steam Deck. It plays beautifully on all systems, and I'm hoping that everybody who, because it's only on Sony and PC right now.
it's not on Xbox.
No, or Nintendo.
Really?
I would love to see
I,
this
I
game on a Switch.
I don't foresee it going to Switch. I mean, the Switch, at least the one that I have, the original recipe Switch, I bought the Lego Incredibles game and it could barely run that in
Oh
handheld
God.
mode. So I don't think the Switch is quite ready for something like this because it is beautiful.
Oh, it's
And
breathtaking.
like I'm sure it's best on like a PS5 with a 4K TV or
Yes.
something,
Yes.
or on your really high-end computer. Uh, but I don't think the Switch is ready for it. I just think it's like you were saying, like it's for everybody. Really, I feel like anybody could pick up this game and play it. The
Oh yeah.
controls are very, very simple, and like there's no heads-up display, but if you ever need to do something, you'll know when you need to do it.
Absolutely. You're prompted too. Like there are
Yeah,
prompts, like hit X to jump up here. You
yeah,
see this like there's a part where there's like a bucket of paint. And it's like knock this down, and you're like, oh okay, and then shit
yeah.
happens, and it's like, okay, I do this, therefore this,
Mm-hmm.
but it does again with it does not feel forced. It was
No,
just it's an amazing experience that I'm glad I played through it. Like, and I think
definitely.
everybody should experience this game. I don't care if you're the most hardcore FPS boomer shooter, RPG, MMO guy. Play Stray. This is a breath of fresh air in an oversaturated market of Apex Legends, Fortnite, Call of Duty. I love Doom, but even Doom, like,
Mhm.
it's play this game. Just
It's
do something different.
yeah, it's really good to see these as well because
Yes.
it's. I mean, we're all like, oh, the gaming industry is such shit. Like nobody's gonna make good games anymore. A game like this comes out and it's like, okay, so games can still be made that are good and people
Yes.
do care about. But I mean, it is. I guess it's an indie title. Like I'd never
Yeah, it definitely is.
seen stuff from them before, but that's just probably me not knowing. But like, people are out there and they're making stuff like this, and it's really it makes me feel good to see it.
Well, the success of this game as well. So, Stray is very successful. This game
Yeah.
took Twitter by storm. It took Reddit by storm. I'm sure somebody in every Discord or every other Discord is talking about Stray. This is a great game to come out at a time where people need a game like this. Again, the oversaturation of shooters and shitty MMOs made by Amazon and there's all these remakes. It's so tiresome. Then this comes out. And it's like, okay, cool, it's a cat game. Yeah, it is. But there's a lot to this game. Just play it, try it. Like
Yeah.
the story itself, that's what I was gonna ask you next.
Yeah.
Without spoiling the story for anybody, because I do want people
Yeah.
to
I
play
don't
this
really
game.
want to spoil it.
But what did you
It will
think?
spoil it. You can spoil it later on, maybe in a further episode.
Yeah, well, you and I will come back to this for sure. But
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
what did you think of the story? Because for me, from start to finish, I fell in love.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, like I I had seen a trailer for the game way back, and then I saw it in the Steam store, and I watched the trailer again, and I'm like, it just looks like a game where you explore a world, a
Yeah,
cyberpunk world with no other humans or animals, and you're just a cat. But then when I started playing it, like I didn't expect a story at all.
right.
I
Yeah,
thought it was just gonna be like, oh, go around, explore, find like puzzles and stuff. But then they hit you with this like narrative, and they like start building the world around you, and like there are other animals, but they live away from the city
yeah,
or like near the city, um, and they have something going on, and then you're immediately taken away from that. So first we were playing it, I was like, oh, we're gonna hang out with the other cats, and then they immediately 180 you, and then the story just kind of builds from there, and like you learn more about the world as you go through like characters you meet, and it sort of all just grows. And then by the end of it, I'm like, I've only played this game for 6 hours, but I would die for this cat.
Oh my god, dude. I would die for this cat, and I would die
Yeah,
for more of the story. Like,
yeah,
I understand why. I think if it was longer than what we got, it would have overstayed its welcome.
definitely.
I think the game that we got is perfect, and I'm not gonna fucking add in a fucking cheeky little perfect in there. I'm gonna say it the correct way for you cat people. I'm not doing it, but I, I like how the game starts and I like how the game ends without going too crazy. It didn't overstay its welcome. It knew what it wanted to do. Story, the pace was just again like what you said. I didn't expect all this. Not
Yeah, I
once.
didn't expect any story. I thought it was just gonna be a walk around and look at stuff game. Like I didn't think there was gonna be any story at all.
Yep. An hour in, I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Like everyone has seen B12. So like that's not a
Yeah.
spoiler.
A little robot.
B12 is the dope ass little robot. Which, if Annapurna, I believe that's how you pronounce the studio. Let me look this up
Hmm.
really quick. Stray Studios. Stray Studio.
But in that, so I don't want to say too much about the little robot, but obviously the cat can't talk.
No.
So the robot is sort of just your an organic reason for you to be able to talk to people.
Yes. So you have
It's really good. It's definitely not like too
well
crazy.
the introduction of B12
Yeah.
is just perfect. Like hey, you're like oh cool, but like the way your cat just like carries him around for a second, I'm like this is adorable. Like what the fuck?
Yeah.
So the studio is B12.
That's the name
Blue
of the
12.
studio.
Blue 12. So B12.
It's Big
Annapurna
12.
Interactive. So those two studios created this
Okay.
game.
They crushed it.
Yeah, they absolutely knocked it out of the park. What they didn't do was create a physical fucking figure of the cat and B12 together.
Do you think that they won't? Like, they're gonna
They're
do
gonna
that.
have to now because this game is a smash hit. Like if you look at reviews of Stray,
On Steam, it is overwhelmingly positive.
oh dude, everywhere it's like
I
9.0,
mean, it's just
9.0. Google
I was
4.8
yeah.
out of 5.
I think that what I like compared this to in terms of like the most relaxed I've been during a game was when I played Abzu, which is a game where you just kind of swim around and don't really do anything. Um, but this like you had that relaxing walk around, explore the world, but then there was a cool story too, which is
Right.
just like when a game can pull both of those things off at the same time, it's like it's pretty. I mean, unfortunately, it's pretty rare that
Yeah.
they do that. That games can manage that now. Either I've found, and I'm like super cynical about it, but like usually it's one or the other. Like the game either looks really good or has a really good story, or looks really good or has like super good mechanics. It's not usually both,
So it looks
but
okay and plays great,
yeah,
or it looks
yeah,
amazing and plays like shit.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Well, this did all of the
Few
above.
games get it right. Yeah,
This was 10. I'm not gonna rate it just yet. I'll leave that for later on. But like, it played phenomenally. It looked
hmm
phenomenal, and it's the game I want. Fuck, dude. I really want everyone to play this game.
yeah,
I just do.
definitely.
So for you though, you like sci-fi. You and I are huge. For those who don't know, Noah and I have been buddies for a couple of years now. But like after we started like becoming like super friends after we talked about Dune. So, like
Yeah,
we are the Dune guys in our servers.
and you
Um,
could listen to that episode in the
yes,
backlog.
and you should. And if you want more information about Dune, go listen to Henry Zabrowski and Holden McNeely do their Dune cast because that series is fucking
Yeah,
A1.
it's really good.
But for you as a sci-fi guy, this sci-fi world to me was just the only thing I could ask for was just a bit more lore of this sci-fi. We got a lot. You get a
Yeah,
lot, but I want to know more. I want to know so much more about this world.
yeah.
Now, for
I'm
you
in the
though,
same boat.
yeah,
Like, there is a lot of stuff you can learn from it, but I kind of want them to like. Wait, I mean, you said you wanted more of the story, but it's like I kind of feel like if they go any further, it's going to answer questions that I don't
uh,
necessarily want an answer to. I want to like I'm
create
like
your own narrative almost.
I don't want to spoil it, but like I don't want them to explain why the world is the way it is because
Correct.
I like just having that to be unknown, which I'm in two minds about that because on one hand they've crafted this world. I bet they have a pretty good idea
Yeah,
about
absolutely.
why things are the way they are. But at the same time, I'm like I don't want it to come like I don't want a second one and for it to not be as good.
Okay.
But I did
Yeah.
like yeah, the world is like super interesting. You can there's no humans in it. You know that from the description in the trailer.
Yeah.
And the robots like are mimicking humans, but they don't exactly know why.
They got bars,
Like they
dude.
haven't exactly figured out why they're doing it. Like there's restaurants and you can this is a spoiler, and you can talk to people in the restaurants who are like a robot holding a bowl of wires and not understanding why is he holding a bowl of wires.
It's sick though. Like, and at the bar, there's like a drunk, passed out robot.
Yeah.
He's like wasted, passed out, and then like that's a whole thing on its own, which we won't get into. But
Yeah.
it's so fucking cool though, man. Like,
But it's a robot. He can't drink.
yes,
He does not know why he is passed out currently.
there's ramen shops. There's literal
Yeah.
like ramen shops for these robots. It's like
Right.
the again, it goes back to the aesthetic settings and just like the storytelling. The world tells its own story in this game.
Yeah.
That's it's amazing and like the well, let's. I'm so fucking stoked right now. Let's
Now
talk
you're
about the.
lost for words.
I am. Let's talk about the fucking gameplay itself though, because it's not just like you're not just confined to one area in this game.
No.
There's so many different ways to platform up and down buildings, and not to say it's very linear. It's not like here's an open world, go do your thing. You're going to be doing things in the confines of certain sections of the game, but there's ways to explore and find secrets and memories and get badges, like jumping on top of like AC vents onto a I don't know, like a fucking pipe onto the roof, and then
Yeah.
you fucking meet robots on the roof, and that tells its own story, and it's just branching, and that itself
There
for
I
the
mean,
gameplay was amazing for me.
the world like that and the collectibles, some of them are in a location where it's like the story needs you to see this, so they're
Yes.
gonna put it super obvious. But there's others that you can go through the whole game and you would never even know that they were there.
Mm.
But I mean, I don't know what with the gameplay. Like, how do you feel about the no HUD situation? Because I always appreciate that in a game like this.
If they would have added a HUD in here, like a compass or
Hmm.
anything like that, it would have ruined the experience. I wanted
Yeah.
to I hate this because Spider-Man fucking did this. Like, you want to feel like the cat.
Hmm.
Like, this game wants you to play like you're a cat. It's so
Yeah.
obvious. Play like you're a fucking cat. You can't figure out a puzzle, just go up, figure something out. So, like,
Yeah.
if they had a HUD or like a health bar, or, which is unnecessary for this game, if they had any of
Right.
these unnecessary traits that most common games have, I really think it would have damaged the game. It would have damaged the fuck, just like
Like
the pure aesthetic of the game, in
yeah,
my opinion. The appearance, the presentation.
the immersion as well.
Exactly. It's unwelcome for this game. It's unneeded, and I'm
Yeah.
glad. If I'm sure at one point there was somebody going, "Here's a concept," and everyone's like, "No, no
I
need."
mean, what it says for the game, the way I feel is like the world is not confusing enough for you to get lost, so you don't need a compass.
Right.
Um, the combat is very measured, so you don't need a health bar.
Absolutely.
The quest line is simple enough that you don't need a constant reminder of what you're supposed to be doing.
You're not always being bothered to figure it
Right?
out.
There's
Yeah.
no like tracking and untracking of the quest. Um, and there's no like again like the map isn't really big enough for you to get lost. But there are like you said, there are prompts. Like there's prompts for you to jump. Like the thing that I can relate it to is in Spider-Man when you're gonna shoot webs at like a ledge,
Yeah.
there's a little marker where it's gonna go. The game will tell you whether or not you can jump somewhere. But I think you could turn that off as well if you wanted to. But it is there. And then there's prompts like to lie down in a place, and there's achievements attached to that. And there's prompts to push buttons on a remote or prompts to get biscuits on the carpet. It's
Yeah.
like there's all kinds of fun little prompts like that, but it is you could go the game without any of that, and I think you'd still have it just as good of a time.
Absolutely. And what you said about the prompts to lay down in places, I thought that was really cool that there are areas of the game where there are like these pillows or a couch or a window sill that you could just it'll say like press triangle or press fucking Y or A to jump up here, and it just your cat lays down, cuddles up, and the camera pans out. What I think they're missing there is a camera mode option. A
Yeah,
camera
I think
mode
that
would have
would be
been
really good in this game.
yes. Camera mode is definitely missed in this game. That is a missed opportunity. You could screen capture, I'm sure, but for
Yeah, it's not quite the same.
full fidelity of the game and the capture of the image, I think a camera mode is definitely sorely missed, and it's an oversight because there's so many moments in this game where I'm like, holy shit! Like the neon lights reflecting
Mm,
off the ground and the puddles. There is like subtle ray tracing here too. That's another thing.
yeah,
It's subtle, nice little ray tracing that keeps it at this high tier looking game, but not so demanding on anybody's physical hardware. And I like that. But yeah, the only thing I think they could have done better was literally add in a fucking photo mode, and that's it. And that's saying a
but I
lot
mean that
because
should
I'm
tell you a lot.
harsh.
Yeah.
I'm harsh on games. If something sucks, I'm like, nah, I'm done. I want my fucking
Hmm.
money back. Like
Yeah.
yesterday, But like
Yeah.
this game was just so special. I loved it. Um, you had to
Yeah, it
give
was
it
really good.
if you had to give it a review, like a review score out of 10, where would you put this on the map?
I'd probably give it like an 8 out of 10. It was really good. Um, I guess the only complaint I had is that I kind of wish there was more, but at the same time, I don't want there to be more.
It's so fucked.
Um, I haven't gone back into it since I finished it, so I don't know what the after ending gameplay is like. I have a feeling it just puts you back in the story
Yeah.
to a certain point. Like you can get, so you can have 100%, you can have all the memories and stuff. I don't know if that gives you a different ending. I feel like it
Hmm.
might, but I don't know. It'd be interesting to see if it does. But if I mean honestly, if the complaint is that I want more, that's a pretty good complaint,
Yeah,
I'd say.
absolutely.
And I just, there's no such thing as a perfect game, really, but this game is nearly perfect.
Yeah. So I'm hitting my mark at 9, and it gets points taken away because there's no photo mode. Um,
Yeah.
there's no photo mode, and I really think that was an oversight for a game like this, where its presentation is so just fucking in your face how beautiful the game is. That's a huge oversight, and it does lose a point for that. But the game is phenomenal. It's a game I think everybody should experience of all gamer a- age and experience. Everybody should try this game out.
Hmm.
The story is truly something I was not expecting. It was fun from start to finish, and like Noah said, I want more, but I don't want more because I think what they did was so pure and amazing. I don't want to see them fucking just force something,
Yeah.
right? Like
You don't
that's
want it to overstay its welcome.
exactly, a game like this comes around every once in a while, and I don't want there to be a Stray 2. I don't want there to be a Stray 3.
Yeah.
Like I maybe like a small DLC where it's like, hey, let's tie up the loose end, maybe a little
Yeah.
bit. You know what I'm talking about. That's it.
Yeah.
Like tie up the loose end right there at the end, and let's figure this out a little bit. But other than that, I
Yeah.
don't need anything else. This was great.
Would if you couldn't if you couldn't get a photo mode, would you take a custom cat thing so you could actually make a cat,
Yes, I
like
would. That,
customize it
that would
and
have been
look as good?
that
Because
would
they
have
do have mods.
the mods are cool. People are adding in their own
Yeah.
cats. I would have liked that, but I do like the narrative of this cat. For some reason, like
Yeah.
that tabby, that orange tabby,
Mm-hmm.
like it's a cat that everyone knows.
Right.
It's everybody knows that cat almost, right? Like you've
Yeah.
seen a cat like that in your life. So like
Yeah.
I feel like that was a friendly, like, hey, this cat type of thing. Therefore, this is the cat we're choosing. That was cool, man. Like, but it would have been really neat. Maybe like like an NG plus, like a new game plus type thing, where it's
Yeah,
like
where you can
that would have been
change your
cool.
cat.
Like,
Yeah, I agree because it's like this is the character you play as this cat.
yes,
You're not projecting onto this cat at all, unless you happen to have an orange cat that looks like that.
right, yeah,
Like, and he's super like it's recognizable and it's pretty striking in some of the environments to see him. But yeah, I think it was nearly perfect, like you said. Um, just kind of rather it stay nearly perfect than
yes.
have a second one and that ruins it. But
This is a game that a lot of people joked about. This is a game that people were like, it's going to come out and it's going to be forgotten. I don't think so. I think this game is going to be in a lot of people's minds for a very long time, and it's going to show like, hey, indie is here. Indie is here to stay. Stop counting out the underdog. Like these AAA studios, like Assassin's Creed, Call of Duty, Fallout, just all these studios that just pump out this bullshit that like consumers don't want. These two studios or one studio, same thing, whatever, however this works. Create this one game that everyone's like, I'll try it because it's so out there. I just have to try it, and it worked. And this game is going to be talked about for a very long time, and I guarantee this will win awards at
I yeah, I hope so.
it has to. If it
I
doesn't,
hope
then
it's
it's
not too
nothing.
early. Like I don't know. Like sometimes games will come out too early, and
Yeah,
they'll come out like after the Game Awards, and you're like, well, That's not gonna win anything because the game wars just happened. You'd have to remember it for a whole year.
Well, people were talking, and they're like, "Well, God of War could win Game of the Year." I'm like, "How? It comes out in November. That'd be bullshit."
Yeah, if
Wh-
they give the first game of the year the award,
Yeah, I'm like that doesn't make
like
sense to
no,
me. So
I think it'll win something.
it has to. This game fucking has to. It
Yeah,
was so fucking good, and this team needs to be recognized. Like they need to be talked about, and I'm excited to see their next game.
definitely.
So
Yeah,
to cap the episode off, Noah,
yeah,
let's talk about some other animals in gaming, though, because you had a couple lists you wanted to talk about.
yeah. I got a couple lists together. I don't think we'll go through them all, but um, mostly just like there's a lot of games out there where you do play as an animal. There's a few where the main character, like the main point, is you're that animal. Games like Okami, Ancestors, Maneater, which is like a shark game.
Yeah.
Um, there's a game called Away, the survival game, which is you play as a flying squirrel,
What?
which I had never heard of it, but I'm gonna definitely look
I
into
need
it.
I need to check that out.
And then like there's games like a lot of games have you have a horse, like a mount,
Yeah.
like a Red Dead or
Roach. Yeah.
yeah, Roach. In some cases, like Zelda games, you have a specific horse as
Epona.
Epona, and sometimes like in other games, your character may turn into an animal. Like if there was, I totally forgot about this. There was some Assassin's Creed 3 DLC in which what's his name? George Washington finds the Apple of Eden, and
What?
he becomes a crazy like tyrant, and you go around getting like spirit animal powers. So you do like you turn into a wolf and a bear and an eagle.
I don't remember that at all.
Yeah, this
Holy
is it's
shit.
DLC and it came out and it's really good. And stuff like that. And again, Zelda is Wolf Link.
Yeah.
Um
Yep.
and then there's like the companions that do something like dog meat in Fallout. And
Okay.
in the Blair Witch game, which I did play semi recently, you have a dog called Bullet,
Yep.
and he's sort of your radar system. And there's Boomer in Far Cry, who I
Yep.
totally ignored. Like I played through the whole game and never used Boomer once. Um, just like again, horses in general, and there's like the mechanic based animals, like Sinu and Icarus in the Assassin's Creed
Oh,
series, who are
yes.
your Eagle Vision. Um, but very few games like have such a that are so narrative based where you play as the animal.
Yes.
Like that's just the character.
I would definitely like to
So
see more of those
Stray
for
is
sure.
pretty unique.
Gray is very unique, but like there are characters that in games that like animal characters in games that I am very fond of. Panda from Tekken is a
Yeah.
character I love playing as. You got Epona from Legend of Zelda. Yoshi, you know that's a
See,
dinosaur.
that's the thing though.
Or would you
That's
not
the thing because
characterize him as an animal?
I didn't list Donkey Kong or anything like that
Okay.
because technically he's a gorilla, but
Yeah.
like I don't know something about it. I'm just because in all the other games, the animals sort of like rooted in reality.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
like they're not. I don't know. I just kind of didn't count them, but it is true.
Like
I
Roach
mean,
is
like
just a horse. That's the thing. Like Roach
yeah,
is literally just a fucking horse.
yeah. In
Torrance as
Ancestor,
well.
yeah, in that Ancestors game, you play as apes, but they're actually apes. They can only really do stuff that apes do.
Yeah.
They're not throwing barrels around and driving cars like
Didn't that
Donkey
game
Kong.
bomb? Did Ancestors?
I don't think a lot of people played it. I watched Evan play it for a bit.
I watched Evan play it too, and I was like watching. I'm like, this sucks.
Yeah, I thought I would play it and like it, but I just watched videos and I was like, this is just weird.
It was uncomfortably weird too.
Yeah,
I
I
think
don't know.
there's
I
something
mean, I
about
would love
this.
it. There'd be a great. They could make a great like Planet of the Apes style game where you play as like a smart ape and
Oh
you like
shit.
rebuild your own little village, and every once in a while you get attacked by humans or something. I don't know. They should do that.
That
That
would
one's
be
for
sick.
free. I'll give you that one.
That'd be sick,
But like, yeah, that would be. It would make a really good game
dude.
because you could. I mean, you could have the same like Last of Us 2, or
Yeah.
maybe just I think it's Last of Us 2, not the first one where you like walk through the city and it's all overgrown and shit.
Yeah.
Like you'd have that, it'd be so good. But I totally forgot where I was going. But like No, Ancestors I did not play it. It did not really look good.
No, it looked like shit. It looked great. The presentation looked great, but there's something about
Yeah.
like just like I don't know, man. It just didn't look fun to me, right? Like I was like watching, I'm like this kind of looks like shit. Uh, There's games like that. There's games like Spore where you create your own like animal
Spore is an
thing.
all
God,
time banger.
God, Spore was. All I remember was from Spore is people just making giant vagina and cock monsters
Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
making them collide into each other. I'm like, oh, I get that. I'm 12. I understand. Like
Yeah,
that.
right.
That's
I was 12 once. I understand
yeah.
this.
Haha.
Yeah.
Coitus. You know, I was like,
Yeah.
this is sweet. But for me, like, it's always been like dog meat, roach, um, fucking Epona. Because I remember playing Legend of Zelda when I was a kid, and the horse, and then in Majora's Mask, Majora. Sorry, I've always said Majora. Everyone's like, it's
Majora.
Majora. I don't know why I say
I
Majora.
heard it go both ways.
Like a bisexual. That's an old Family Guy
Yeah.
joke. It's an old Family Guy joke. Yeah. So like Majora's Mask, because you get Epona in Majora's Mask, correct?
You meet Epona as a pony in Ocarina of Time, and then she's with you because at the end of Ocarina of Time you go back,
Yes,
and then Majora's Mask is an offshoot of that timeline. So you already have Epona when you start Majora's Mask.
correct. But then like because you become Deku and all that shit, Epona is
Yeah,
at a ranch, and then you have to get Epona from the ranch. Isn't that, if I'm not
I think
mistaken?
so. I mean, I watched videos, but I haven't actually played Majora's Mask.
You've not played Majora's Mask?
No, I played Ocarina of Time, and I was like, this was so fucking frustrating to me
It made
because I just finished Breath of the Wild, and now I have to play this 50-year-old game, and I'm just like, I'm not playing Majora's Mask. I don't need to.
Majora's Mask has its flaws. It's a great Zelda entry, but it's one of those games where it's like, dude,
Yeah.
I rip my fucking hair out. But yeah, it's a nightmare to play through sometimes. But yeah, man, I
Yeah.
mean, that's the episode. Stray. It took over the entire episode. We
Get
were
out
like,
there. Get
for
into it.
for a minute there, man, we were like, yeah, we're gonna talk about Stray for a little bit, and we're gonna go into the other animals. It's like, no, it's Stray.
We're
There's
just
no
gonna talk
way.
about Stray.
There's no way you can't. But like
Yeah.
Noah said, get this fucking game. Support these teams that created this game. This game is it's for everybody, man. Like anybody can hop in this game, play the fuck out of it, enjoy it. $30, more at least 6 hours of gameplay.
Yeah.
Just get this game. It's
There's an achievement for beating it in 2, but you could play this game for 12 hours probably.
I don't know why you'd want to rush it.
I don't know. I mean, I have a feeling that achievements in there for like speedrunners and stuff,
After
but you
you've
can
already
do
beaten
it.
it, yeah.
I don't know why you'd want to do that either, because you really want to take your time, experience it.
I assume it's for
So
like
yeah,
after you've beaten it. It's like, all right, do it again really quick.
yeah, yeah.
But like, I don't. I'll have to see if
I
anyone's
wouldn't
learned.
even want to.
No, I'm done with the game. Like, I loved the game, but I am done now.
Yeah,
So, go get Stray, play it. Let us know what you think. Check out our sponsors. Check out the entire Spawn Camp. That's us, Diggity, Build Bros, and soon to be OBO again. It's coming back. And I'm going to put my marriage on the line because my wife hates me doing that show, but it's cool because she loves and supports me. Check out Noah's design work at NMD Official or NMD Designs. Check him out on Instagram. We will be plugging him this week on Instagram and Twitter. Check him out. Check out Final Boss and Doc Longy. And please play this fucking game. Noah, is there anything you wanted to plug before we ended the episode?
none to plug. Follow on Instagram, post some stuff there sometimes. Play Stray if you're like me and you're in a rut for games, just in general, kind of feeling shitty about the current state of the industry. This is what you want. This is what
Yes.
we want. We want more of Stray.
Yes.
So get out there, play it, have a good time. Emotionally wreck yourself over this virtual cat.
Oh, it's emotional damage, 100%.
Yeah.
Just play it.
But
Go play
get
Stray.
out there.
Hell yeah. All right, guys. Until next week, take it easy. Be safe. See you guys next Wednesday or Friday. We don't know yet. Nothing's concrete here. So take it easy, guys.
All right.